Bitcoin has seen an amazing breakout of $100,000. In today's video, we're going to be answering every single question you can possibly imagine about where Bitcoin is going next, how the price action is looking, the key invalidation and trigger points you should be paying attention to, the worst case scenario, Bitcoin dominance, the altcoin market, and even the total market cap. By the end of today's video, you'll have every single question answered and no stone left unturned. Let's go ahead and jump on in. Okay, MegaWhale team, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're all having an absolutely fantastic day. In today's video, we are taking a look at the recent explosive breakout of 100,000 for Bitcoin, discussing the implications of this move, potential targets, worst case scenarios, the total altcoin, total market cap, and Bitcoin dominance charts, and so much more. Before we get into it, smash the like button, hit the comment button, and subscribe to the channel. We post daily videos of Bitcoin focusing on the facts, the data, the technical, and the structural information. No hype, no BS, no emotion, pure raw TA. If that is the kind of content you were interested in, join us over on Telegram. This is the first link down below. You'll get access to charts, updates, videos, educational posts, news events, and everything you need to stay in the loop of cryptocurrency with Bitcoin and the relevant economic news. And if you were interested in taking your trading to the next level, join us over on VIP by clicking the pinned comment in the free channel. You can click my name to contact me. You can click the first link to see our 50+ month trading track record. And the second link will show you a 10-minute video inside the channel itself. We post trading setups with exact entries, exact targets, exact stop losses, trade justification, exclusive analysis, and so much more, including access to our group chats, our general chat, our trading chart and education chat, our daily video chat, our help, and our news chat with over 700 members. Go ahead and join up. Let's take a look at the price action. So as we can see over the past 24 hours, we have seen some very significant things occur. Number one, we have seen Bitcoin, of course, break out of the major horizontal resistance, which we have been consolidating underneath for 3 weeks at $98,000 to $100,000, officially clearing that volume region, breaking through into the low historical resistance range according to our VRPV. We have also seen a positive momentum shift, not only on the daily, but the 12-hour chart as well, signifying that the selling pressure we have seen since the 108K top has not only exhausted, but it has been absorbed, and the buyers are back in control on the daily. As we just mentioned at the start, we're not only going to be taking a look at the short term, what implications this move has had, the potential targets, but we're also going to be taking a look at what would need to happen here for this move to exhaust and for this to turn into deviation and for these sellers to get back in control. We're going to cover absolutely every question you can imagine in the video today. Let's move over to the market data. Taking a look at our market data, 24-hour volume up 85% at 207 billion, liquidations up 78%, 226 million. Of the 226 million, 131 million coming from shorts, not too unexpected, 94 million coming from longs. Moving over to our broader markets, the DXY is showing some very interesting signs here. We can see while we remain above this prior high, this level of support now, while we sustain above this region, the potential for continuations upwards are very realistic. We are looking for moves to 110 to 111. If we do see the price break back below this region, we could see this marked as deviation before we see extended corrections back toward the downside. We have some major economic events coming out in the next 2 weeks, which can massively influence where the DXY is likely to move to on the short term. And then we have the major interest rate result coming in about 30+ days, which will massively dictate where the DXY is likely to move. Those economic events we are paying close attention to are as follows. We are watching the FOMC minutes meeting on the 9th of January. We are watching NFP and unemployment rate data as leading for inflation on the 10th. We are watching very closely to PPI and of course our CPI data on the 14th and 15th of January. These are going to be some major major events developing over the next 8 days, which I highly recommend paying close attention to. Moving over to the S&P 500, we can see the S&P 500 is still sitting, or should I say below, that 6,100 resistance. Again, these drawings are from our last video. If you don't know already, this is the second time I'm filming this video. It was the first time, for some weird reason, I just totally forgot to plug the mic in. So we're here again. So mind the drawings, but at the moment, for us to expect continuations higher, we do need to see a break over 6,100, being that potential local top. Until we see that breakout, there is a possibility we see exhaustion develop over a few weeks, which could take us back down to 5,700. Now, even if we see a move to 5,700, we do not expect a macro downtrend to start. We would expect this to do a reversal point. And we would only expect a macro downtrend to begin if we lose that 50 EMA in conjunction with that 5,700 support. So if we do see worst case scenario, a correction, we would expect reversals. But if we do break down, that is when we are bearish on the S&P. Until then, we are short-term cautiously optimistic while we sit under 6,100. Of course, a break of 6,100 results in a strong continuation higher. Now, as we said in today's video, we're going to cover almost every question you can imagine. We're going to go through the short term, the macro, altcoins, implications of this move, potential targets. You know, we're going to do a complete momentum, structure, and trend analysis, and just basically cover everything. But before we get into that, guys, go ahead and sign up to BitGet, BitUnix, and BingX with the links down below. It takes only a matter of minutes. You'll get a lifetime trading fee of 15%, which can build up to 45% based on your trading volume. You only need to use one exchange. You can go ahead and sign up the links down below. It will support you in your trading journey, and it will support me making this content. Go ahead and do it, and we'll see you back in just a moment. If you are looking for a new exchange or just want to support the channel, sign up to BitUnix with the link down below. You'll get a lifetime trading fee discount of 15%, which can build up to 45% based on your trading volume, as well as access to a bonus reward center, and of course, all of the exclusive campaigns we run on this exchange. You'll also get access to BitUnix being a non-KYC exchange, meaning you can sign up from anywhere in the globe without regulations. And most importantly, I only promote exchanges I trust and I use. As you can see, I trade on BitUnix very regularly, being the highest VIP level with over $500 million in trading volume for the last 30 days. And lastly, if you were interested in signing up to our other two exchanges, BingX or BitGet, you can also do that via the links down below. You as well will get the 15% trading fee discount and everything else that comes with it. Go ahead and sign up. Thank you for supporting. Let's jump back in. Okay, legends, let's go ahead and get straight back into video. So taking a look at the price action, let's dive and delve into it. As we can see, we have had a fantastic break of 100,000, and we mentioned in yesterday's video that we were going to see one of two things, and there was two main levels we are paying very close attention to. Let's talk about the bearish level first. The first level was that $92,000 region. We discussed how important 92,000 really was for us to sustain above, and it still is. Let's just hypothetically say Bitcoin does not sustain its regions, and we see a correction back down and lose 92,000. We discussed in yesterday's video that a loss of 92,000 would not only have major macro consequences on Bitcoin, as it could result in an extended correction into that mid to high $80,000 region and the loss of that, 200 moving average here, but we could also see, as a consequence of that move, the total market cap break and create a new low, breaking down from the 2021 high point, and of course the total 3 market cap losing the 50 EMA on the daily chart. Both of those things occurring, the loss of the 2021 high and the breakdown of the 50 EMA on the total 3, would be macro reversal signals for those markets, meaning a breakdown of 92,000 could potentially send Bitcoin into a start of a much larger high time frame downtrend. Now, I do want to get that out of the way just to explain it, but thankfully we didn't see that occur. In fact, we saw the complete opposite. We saw a breakout of that $98,000 to $100,000 resistance. Now, as we mentioned in yesterday's video, the $98,000 to $92,000 region was a 3-week long consolidation where we had a whole bunch of volume build up. We talked about in yesterday's video that the break of 100,000 would push Bitcoin into something we call a low historical resistance range. This is simply when we move into a range of price action, and the range is going to be now 98,000 to 108,000, where the volume requirements as represented on a horizontal basis by the VRPV, the visible range volume profile, are suggesting the volume requirements are lower for the price action to move up or down within the range. Now, when we see the price action break into a low historical resistance range, and we see that occur with a strong move as a consequence of a bullish momentum shift, a positive momentum shift, we generally see volatility spike. We said in yesterday's video, if we see a break of 100,000, we are going to see a very likely volatility spike, and we have seen that occur as Bitcoin broke from 100,000 to 102,000 in a matter of moments when it broke out. So congratulations if you caught that move. If we take a look at the price action from a whole perspective, we again are looking at three things: trend, structure, strength. Do we have those? Okay, strength. We have seen a positive momentum shift on the 12-hour and on the daily chart. What does this really mean? This means that at the moment, the buyers are in control of the price action. It also means that over the price action, over the dates since the 11th of November onwards, this is the first time that we have got positive momentum, telling us that this entire time until this recent 24-hour breakout, the sellers have been in control. We have been seeing exhaustion, meaning either the sellers are in complete control of the price action pushing it down, or the buyers are weakening. But what we are seeing now is that the buyers are back in control and strengthening. We have seen exhaustion of the sellers and absorption of that selling, resulting in a positive momentum shift and the buyers getting back in control, pushing the price back above 100,000. This is a fantastic thing to see for Bitcoin. In addition to that, we have seen again a nice clear uptrend established, represented by this diagonal trend line, which we'll delve into more detail in just a moment on the short term. And of course, we have seen a structural break of a prior higher low, okay, or should I say lower high, at this 98 to $100,000 region. We have broken through that level. So while Bitcoin remains now above this prior lower high, which is now a potential support, Bitcoin will be bullish. If we drop back below that level, that is when we run the risk of this move exhausting, turning into a deviation from the range being 92,000 to 100,000, and resulting in a correction back to the range low. So while we are sitting above 100,000, the probabilities for Bitcoin is in favor in direct continuations toward the upside, even if we see a short-term correction back to retest this level. It is only if, upon the retest of our prior lower high, we are unable to find demand, we are unable to find support, and we drop back below, would we see an extended correction back to the range low. So Bitcoin, from a probability perspective, is not only expected to go higher, but it is technically bullish. Now, let's take a look at another example of this to show you just how powerful these daily positive momentum shifts can actually be, particularly after we have bearish divergences develop, okay? Bearish divergences, which eventually break, indicating exhaustion and absorption of the selling pressure caused by that bearish divergence. Let's take a look at another scenario. If we go back to 2023, we can see right over here another perfect scenario of this same kind of structure. We had, again, on the 12-hour, let's actually take a look on the daily, this is more clear on the daily over here. We can see a bearish divergence developed for Bitcoin. We saw, again, selling pressure begin to increase as momentum decreased. We saw a local bottom over here. Then we saw sideways consolidation between the 13th to the 7th. This is 2.5 weeks of consolidation for Bitcoin underneath a lower high. When we saw the break of the lower high, we also saw the momentum break the downtrend, representing yet again a positive momentum shift. We then saw the price action directly continue to a brand new high. So that is just an example of what we are seeing here just on a prior price structure, a prior period of time. We are seeing the same thing occur for Bitcoin. So at the moment, we can use that as two things, targets and invalidations. Targets, we are expecting brand new highs for Bitcoin, all-time highs for Bitcoin, provided 100,000 holds, and invalidations, if 100,000 does not hold, we expect invalidations into new lows. Well, not new lows, but new local lows according to our $92,000 price structure low. That is how we're playing it. That is what we're expecting. We are definitely bullish on Bitcoin. Let's move over to short-term price action. So, short-term price action, very, very interesting. We can break it down a little bit more and talk about the specifics about what is happening and what we expect immediately. Now, as we just mentioned, we are bullish on Bitcoin above 100,000. That doesn't necessarily mean Bitcoin is going to permanently go up on the short term. We could see short-term pullbacks and we could see corrections. Where is a correction likely to develop from? And what would be the next best time to enter or the next point of confirmation for continuations for Bitcoin? If we take a look, we are looking at this recent correction for Bitcoin. We're looking at that 108 correction, right? We've got our all-time high here. We've got lower highs, and we've got a lower high right over here. The lower high right over here, 102 to 108, 102.4 to $102.8 thousand. If we look at the current price action, Bitcoin is getting very close to testing that. But we can see again, the momentum is pointing downwards. We might be pushing this into a potential divergence. We're actually retesting as we speak. This is the level we would want to see two things occur from. If we are looking for developments of corrections, it is going to happen from here. If we want more confirmation for continuations higher in the short term, we need to break above this region. A break above this region will likely send Bitcoin into that prior all-time high. Until then, this is a potential rejection point, which could result in a correction back to these highs. Or should I say these prior lower highs before we then continue upwards. So if you're looking for more confirmation that Bitcoin is going higher, watch to see how we react at this current level of resistance. If we break through here, that is going to be confirmation we are going higher. If we reject from here, that could be confirmation we are testing or retesting these prior lower highs. Now let's talk about what we would need to see for Bitcoin to turn bearish. Again, when we look at trends, we look at three things: trend, structure, strength. We have got positive momentum on the daily. We are seeing a very clear uptrend represented by this diagonal uptrend, and we've got again a very clear structure, this horizontal structure upon the breakout. Therefore, for us to turn bearish on Bitcoin, we would need to see a breakdown of our structural level, okay, the horizontal level between 98,000 to 100,000. We would need to break the diagonal uptrend representing the trend, and upon the breakdown of both of those things, that would be, in our eyes, 2 out of 3 things we're watching out for confirmation of continuations lower. Until then, even if we see a correction back in, we are bullish. That is how we're playing it, guys. That is as simple as that. At the moment, we are approaching resistance. We've seen a large rally. It is likely we do see some sort of selling occur. Whether that selling extends into a higher time frame downtrend or not, that's something to be taking a look at upon the retest of that $100,000 to $98,000 region. But at the moment, Bitcoin is definitely bullish. Let's move over to Bitcoin dominance. Now, anytime Bitcoin goes up aggressively, particularly when we break psychological levels, 50,000, 20,000, 100,000, etc., we see money flow back into Bitcoin as there is more hype around Bitcoin, right? We're seeing Bitcoin dominance go upwards. Now, with Bitcoin dominance going upwards, we've seen a lot of altcoins suffer. We have seen some altcoins over the past few weeks do fantastically well. We have seen some altcoins do nothing but go sideways, and we have seen some altcoins go down slightly. Overall, if we look at the total altcoin market cap, okay, we are going to keep it nice and simple. We are expecting altcoins to do very well, provided the daily 50 EMA is able to sustain. The daily 50 EMA, the point at which we retested twice, and a level at which we sustained above almost entirely of last altcoin season, until we broke down and saw a 60-70% correction, is a level we are watching this time around too. So while we sustain above the 50 EMA, we are expecting altcoins to eventually go to new all-time highs, and we have also seen a breakout of the downtrend represented on the total 3 market cap. So altcoins, although we are seeing a little bit of sideways chop over here, that isn't anything to be too concerned about, particularly while Bitcoin is below 100,000. If we see Bitcoin drop back below 100,000, back below 99,000, back below 98,000, the uptrend, etc., and then we see altcoins lose a 50, well, that would be a major, major warning sign and sell signal. But until then, altcoins are expected to do well. The same goes for the total market cap over here. Provided we sustain above the 2021 high, we are expecting continuations higher. So that brings me to my final closing points, right? A lot of people have been away on holiday, etc., etc. They come back to the market, it's up a lot. And a lot of people are thinking, I've missed the move. You know, what do? I'm late. The reality is it is 7 days into 2025. We have 358 days remaining of the year. 358 days, an absolutely incomprehensible amount of opportunity in the market in that amount of time. Do not feel rushed, do not feel pressured, do not chase the market, take a step back, relax, wait for those opportunities to come to you rather than chasing these move upwards, okay? Lock in, guys. Have a fantastic day. Catch you guys in the next one on Thursday. See you then.